At the beginning of the 21st century, a third world war breaks out and devastates the world. The remaining survivors found Libya, a city where a totalitarian government known as the Tetragrammaton Council makes all citizens take daily injections of prosium-2, which suppresses emotion and encourages obedience. Anything that may stimulate emotions like art and pets has been banned, and those criminals that do consume those things are called sense offenders. If they get caught, they are put to death because of the council claims those who feel are the cause of all wars. To make sure that everyone follows these laws, the council formed a group of well-trained warriors known as clerics who fight using the martial art of gun kata. Outside the city, there is an abandoned area called the Nether, where most of the illegal activity happens. Currently, clerics John and Errol, together with their Special E team, are conducting a raid to deal with the latest group of rebels from a group known as the Underground. The team discovers that a bunch of rebels are barricading themselves inside a building. So while they engage in a gunfight, outside, John goes inside first with guns in both of his hands. He breaks down the door and just waits there in the darkness, letting the rebels fire and not getting hurt even once. Once the fire stops, John uses his gun to shoot all the rebels, using the gun kata technique, which uses geometry and a psychology to choose where to strike with hita with precision and allows him to be out of the line of fire. Once everyone is dead, they search the building for illegal material, and when they break the floorboards, they discover a huge collection of art that includes the Mona Lisa. After they use a scanner to confirm they are real, John orders his men to set it all on fire. During their ride back to headquarters, John notices that Errol took a book and asks him why. Errol explains that the team tends to leave a thing or two behind, so I'll log this evidence himself to avoid trouble with the records. Meanwhile, in the city, the leader father appears on screens. Everywhere, reminding people to take prosium and that they team have achieved peace thanks to the system. Which gets him a cheer from the public. Father always appears on the screens, but nobody has seen him in person in a long while. When John arrives at headquarters, he immediately goes to see Vice Consul Dupont to give his report, which earns him high praise. Dupont wonders how a cleric has learned so well to sense when someone feels a strong emotions, so John explains how Tums learned to think like his enemies. Then Dupont asks him about his family, and John very coldly tells him that his wife was arrested and incinerated for being a sense offender some years ago. Dupont scolds him for it, saying a cleric should be able to tell his own wife is a criminal. Afterward, John looks at a recording of the car and notices Errol acting suspiciously. He goes to look at the records, and he discovers Errol has now ain't been logging any kind of evidence for weeks, including today, Tem's book. He decides to return to the Nether to look for him and finds him reading the book inside an abandoned church. When John confronts him, Errol laments that people have lost everything that makes them human, and when John points out that there is no war or murder now, Errol admits that he'd gladly pay the price to make humans feel emotions again. Then, Errol tries to reach for his gun, but John is faster and kills him first. Before leaving, he covers Errol Tim's face with the book. Afterward, John meets Brant, who will replace Errol as his partner, and expresses his hopes to become as good as John. When John goes home, his son Robbie tells him that he saw a boy crying earlier, and wonders if he should inform the authorities. So John says he should. Although they Tem father and son, Robbie calls John by his name instead of Dado. Later in the evening, a sleeping John dreams of the day his wife was arrested. When the officers stormed into his house, John quickly disarmed two of them, but he stopped fighting as soon as they told him his wife was a sense offender. On her way out, his wife kissed him and asked him not to forget her while their two kids watched. The next morning, While getting ready, John accidentally drops his vial of prosium on the floor and it breaks. When Robbie notices this, he reminds his father to stop by the equilibrium